Today we are talking about mindset once again, because it's one of my favorite topics. And because if you really think about it, mindset is everything. If the right things aren't happening up here, then I promise none of the right things are happening anywhere else. And all of us really are just trying to live our best lives. And most of us who are doing this type of work have goals, visions of amazingness for the future. And developing a mindset that will help you achieve those goals is a worthwhile endeavor. So much about success comes from having a mindset that will allow for it. And you can define success in any way that you like, because I do not think there's a universal definition for it. And you can put the word success on any aspect of your life. We're going to talk about self-doubt today, because it's something that almost everyone will struggle with at certain points in their life, and some people struggle with it all the time. Have you ever felt like you couldn't? Like it was too hard? Like there was, just no way to figure it out, to overcome that obstacle? You're not alone. Many women struggle with self-doubt on occasion. That voice in our head that tells us not to bother, either it's too hard or we'll fail and be embarrassed or judged. It stops us from taking risks, from failing, which is actually how we learn and evolve. It keeps us stuck exactly where we are, even when that's not where we want to be. Today, I want to talk about a few strategies for managing self-doubt. And as in anything, awareness must come first and is key. I want you to notice when your self-talk is making you doubt yourself and question yourself. If you only did this, become aware of when that was happening, it would change your life. Let's start this off with a definition. Everybody knows I love myself a good definition. So here's the definition of self-doubt. Self-doubt refers to the lack of confidence in oneself and one's abilities. It is a feeling of uncertainty regarding one's competence or worthiness, often leading to hesitation, procrastination, or indecision. Self-doubt can stem from various factors, including past experiences, fear of failure, imposter syndrome, or negative feedback, and it can hinder personal and professional growth if not addressed properly. And that's why we're here today, to start to address it. There are some common triggers for self-doubt. Some very common triggers that we see among professional women are things like imposter syndrome, perfectionism, any kind of negative feedback or criticism, right? That makes you doubt yourself, comparison with others, and anything that is a brand new challenge. When we get triggered, so that self-doubt starts to kick in, there are a few common manifestations of self-doubt as well. Procrastination, underperformance, overworking, reluctance to take risk, and difficulty in making decisions. So why are we talking about all of this? Why is self-doubt so important? Well, what you believe will be your reality. So if you believe those self-doubting thoughts that are happening in your head, then that will be your reality. If those thoughts say you can't do this and you believe them, well, guess what? You can't do this. I want you to think of the implication that has on your professional and personal life. Let's say, as an example, you are struggling with your team in the office. Maybe negativity and gossip seem to be a continuous problem, and you really want to change the culture of your practice. If you doubt your ability to learn and or implement proven strategies that will transform your practice's culture, and this holds you back from taking action, you are doomed for things to remain the same. Self-doubt is often the culprit when it comes to inaction or inability to follow through on new initiatives. If it gets a little bit harder than we want it to be, then we start to believe the negative self-talk, and that makes us doubt ourselves, and then all of a sudden we back off or we stop to avoid that discomfort. If you can implement some strategies to reduce self-doubt, or at least manage it, then you can build the practice and life of your dreams because you will know that you can. So let's talk about some strategies to overcome self-doubt. One of my favorite, and I think I've spoken about this many times, is positive affirmations. Positive affirmations is simply the action of repeating positive statements to yourself daily to reprogram your mental chatter or your self-talk. So you might say something at the same time every day. As an example, I do affirmations often when I park my car at the office. Today is going to be an amazing day. I know I'm going to have so much fun with my team and with my patients. It's going to be awesome, right? So repeating things to yourself over and over again that are positive. So if you notice and you are aware of your self-doubt and you notice patterns in what you are saying to yourself, come up with a positive affirmation that will counter that and start saying it to yourself on the regular. The great news is this mind is programmable. You can make it believe whatever you want. Another way that self-doubt can be managed or countered is with cognitive behavioral techniques. And this is simply something that has been used in therapy and by psychologists forever, and it works fantastically well for changing behavior. What it means is usually identifying your negative thought patterns, there's that awareness piece, and then challenging those negative thoughts and replacing them with positive ones. Let me just give you a very generic example. Let's say you're about to give a presentation, but you're filled with self-doubt and you keep thinking things like, I'm going to mess this up and everyone's going to laugh at me. Using CBT, you might first identify this as a negative thought pattern. Oh, look at me saying things that aren't based in fact. Then you could challenge this thought by remembering a time when you've given a successful presentation in the past. Or by considering that even if you do make a mistake, it's unlikely that your colleagues are going to laugh at you. And finally, you could replace the negative thought with a more positive one, such as, I'm prepared for this presentation and I have valuable information to share. Another way to counter self-doubt is to make sure you have a support network. That's what we're building right here, right? A group of people. This could be friends, family, colleagues, people that will support you, that are there for you when things get challenging, that you can go and talk to when that self-doubt is making you question every decision you've ever made in your entire life. It's nice to have people around who know what you're going through. If self-doubt for you is a very, very persistent thing and you find you're really struggling, and maybe you try some of these techniques and it's not helping, then of course, professional help is available. I highly recommend that you seek some if you think that's what you need. Another thing that always helps with mental health, self-care. I'm going to keep preaching this, ladies, forever and ever and ever. We do not take good enough care of ourselves, and we need to prioritize it. It is especially important that you take care of your physical health, as it directly impacts your mental health. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating nutritious food? Are you getting enough exercise? Do you do things that you enjoy? Do you spend time doing things that make you relaxed and at ease? Consider all of these. Anything that you can do that will counter negative self-talk and self-doubt will work. Those are just a few examples. I personally also really like visualization because I can do it anytime, anywhere, and it only takes a few minutes to completely change my frame of mind. So let's do a practical exercise to drive this idea home. And I know you might feel silly, and I don't care. I'm going to ask you to do it anyway. And if you don't do it, you can just watch me while I tell everybody to do this. This exercise is simply called visualizing success. So if you are ever having a moment of self-doubt, this is a great exercise to do. I'm going to have you do it with me right now. We'll do a short version of it. I want everyone to close their eyes. Just close your eyes, sit in a super relaxed, comfy position. Relax your face, relax your jaw, right? No clenching. Just breathe nice and easy. And I want you to visualize a time when you felt confident and successful. This could be after a big presentation you nailed, or you completed a really hard project, or any type of personal achievement that you could come up with. And of course, for everyone, this will be different. And I want you, while you're breathing easy and comfortably seated with your eyes closed, focus on that memory. Think about how you felt. What were you thinking? What are some other details about that situation that you can bring to life? so you can feel almost like you're back in that exact place once again. Try to immerse yourself in this memory. And I want you to open your eyes. If you want that to be really effective, I highly recommend you set a timer and try to live in that memory for a good 2 minutes. You may notice, even just doing that for 15 seconds, that when you open your eyes, some of those feelings are still there. It's pretty amazing how the human body works. Visualization is a great way to take yourself to a point in time where you were feeling a way that you wish you were feeling right now. Because your mind doesn't actually know the difference between a memory and reality. And so if you can try to get yourself as absolutely immersed in that visualization, whatever it is you're trying to bring forward as you possibly can, your nervous system will actually respond like you're back in that moment. So if in that moment you were feeling great joy or excitement or elation or just happiness, whatever emotion came to mind, and maybe pride, and you felt like you could, conquer the world, you could do just about anything, you bring those back and your body and mind believe that that is what is happening right this second, and it is true. It's incredibly powerful. It's just one thing, one trick you can have up your sleeve when you're feeling like you're doubting yourself. I gave you a list of other things. That's another one. Do one of these things, and then you can do anything. You have control over your mind. You actually don't have control over much in this world, but over yourself, you do. So if you can learn how to exercise the control that you do have in ways that will benefit you, will enhance your life, will allow you to build and create the life and practice that you've always wanted to have, then start doing it. I want you to remember, you are amazing, you are worthy, you are wonderful, you are awesome. Make sure you're reminding yourself of that every single day. I'll see you next week.